Hello today and welcome back, and I'm here with another update, and this is concerning Prince Harry and his legal action against NGN. So courtesy of Reuters, the article says Prince Harry on Wednesday fought to take his phone hacking lawsuit against Rupert Murdoch's UK newspaper arm to trial, asking London's High Court to let him rely on an alleged secret agreement in quotes between Britain's royal family and the publisher. Prince Harry, the younger son of King Charles, is suing Murdoch News Group newspapers NGN for multiple unlawful acts allegedly committed on behalf of its tabloids, The Sun and the now defunct News of the World from mid-1990 until 2016. And I've covered more of that in detail, so you will see links in the cards and at the end screen if you want to get more information. And the article goes on to say NGN, which has settled more than 1,000 phone hacking cases over the past decade, applied in April to strike out Harry's claim, arguing he should have taken action sooner. But Prince Harry said he did not bring the lawsuit until 2019 because of an agreement between Buckingham Palace and senior figures at NGN to delay any lawsuits by the royal family until the end of all other phone hacking litigation brought against NGN. NGN, however, denies that there was any such agreement. On Wednesday, Harry's lawyers sought to rely on the alleged agreement to defeat NGN's bid to throw out his case and allow it to be heard at trial in January, which will feature a similar claim by British actor Hugh Grant. Harry alleges NGN journalists or private investigators acting on their behalf unlawfully intercepted his voicemail messages, commonly known as phone hacking, and obtained private information such as phone bills and medical records by deception, which NGN denies. David Sherborne, representing Prince Harry, argued that there was clear evidence of an agreement between NGN and the royal family, which meant Harry was unable to bring his lawsuit earlier. So Harry said in a witness statement made public in April that NGN settled with his brother Prince William, a claim that was for a huge sum of money in 2020 without any of the public being told, in quotes. Buckingham Palace has not commented, and William's office previously said it could not comment on ongoing legal proceedings. NGN declined to comment in April on whether it made a settlement with William. Prince Harry also said his attempts to progress his case against NGN with the backing of the late Queen were stonewalled by NGN and royal aides. Royal staff were in communication with Rebecca Brooks, now CEO of the Murdoch British arm News UK and News Corp, and WSA.O Chief Executive Robert Thomson about Harry's lawsuit in 2017 and 2018, according to emails released in April. Sherborne argues in court filings on Wednesday that NGN had not provided any evidence from Brooks and Thomson, despite their evidence being identified as, quote, critical. NGN's lawyers said it had not provided evidence from Brooks and Thomson as they were not working at NGN in 2012 when the agreement was allegedly struck. The publisher also argues that even if there was a secret agreement between Buckingham Palace and the publisher, it would not apply until the end of other phone hacking claims. Harry's lawsuit against NGN is one of 4 cases he is bringing against British newspaper publishers, including a similar claim against Mirror Group newspapers, MGN, in which he is seeking damages of around £444,000, which is about $560,000. And as we all know, Prince Harry made history becoming the first senior British royal to appear in a witness box for more than 130 years when he gave evidence in his MGN lawsuit last month. So more on Prince Harry's claims, as he has said in that statement. He said that Prince William had settled a phone hacking claim against Rupert Murdoch's UK newspaper arm in 2020 for a very large sum, in quotes, after a secret deal in Buckingham Palace. And this is what the lawyers for Prince Harry said in court documents. He accused those acting for the papers of phone hacking and obtaining private information about him by deception, including getting hold of his wife Meghan's social security number. NGN, which I said before, has paid out millions after a number of journalists at the News of the World were jailed for phone hacking, leading to Murdoch closing it down and seeking to have his claim dismissed, arguing he should have brought it sooner. So I want to know your thoughts. Prince Harry has all these submissions, and his legal team have argued that the deal had been agreed between NGN and the institution, that is to say Buckingham Palace, to hold off any claims until other outstanding phone hacking litigation was settled. And a document said this, quote, "It is important to bear in mind that in responding to his bid by NGN to prevent his claims going to trial, the claimant has had to make public the details of the secret agreement, as well as the fact that his brother, His Royal Highness Prince William, has recently settled his claim against NGN behind the scenes," end quote. So, in fact, you can see that NGN did, in those court documents, settle with William for a very huge sum of money, or large sum of money in quotes. And this happened in 2020. And they want to also use all of that to throw out Harry's case by saying that he brought his issues too late. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think that what NGN's lawyers are arguing holds any water? Do you think that the judge will side with them? Or do you think the judge will, in fact, take into account that William has also settled with this newspaper for, that huge sum? Some people speculate it's in the millions. Of course, that would allude to the fact that they felt that they owed William. And now Prince Harry, in his own legal action, he only wants his justice. So my question to you, do you think that this case will move forward in Prince Harry's favor? Because, the things that he's alleging that they have done are criminal. And I'm sure he would like to see some type of justice served in this, because can you imagine what he has stated, that according to his suit, that they had information about him through deception. He accused the papers of phone hacking and going as far as getting his wife's social security number. So I think that this is something that he wants to move ahead, and them trying to say that his claim should be dismissed because he should have brought it sooner. For me, that is just a huge question mark over, their type of argument as well. So share your thoughts. Do you think that this will go in Prince Harry's favor, and we will get to see him taking these papers all the way until we get some actual accountability on their part and some type of judgment that will make a huge statement to especially the tabloids moving forward? I would like to know your thoughts. So I wanted to share this huge update with you, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. So that's the first story out of the way, and there's been another interesting update that I have been seeing of late. There has been these stories that have been covered concerning Kate Middleton, in fact. And for those of you who know on this channel, I don't make it a point to talk much about her, not because per se that I do not like her or anything. I want to cover those who I find interesting, and that would be the Sussexes. But there has been a story that has caught my attention, where the papers are basically saying, especially about the interview, the Harry and Meghan's interview with Oprah, and Prince William and Kate's response. So we all remember that famous line from the statement that was issued after all of Prince Harry and Meghan's statements on the interview. And the original statement read, quote, "The whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been for Harry and Meghan. The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much loved family members," end quote. So the line, "some recollections may vary," really, took off like a storm. A lot of people really singled out that line and ran with it. And I saw a lot of segments of the media online mocking Harry and Meghan saying that the Queen had given them a mic drop moment by saying some recollections may vary. And now, according to Valentine Lowe, a couple of you know him, according to sources or insiders, he said this, quote, "It had a much milder version." He went on to say the debate was, do you rise entirely above it and offer the olive branch of Harry and Meghan being much loved members of the family, or is there some moment where you have to intervene and offer a view, end quote. According to this version, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge back then did not like the milder version, and they wanted something that clarified that their family did not agree with Harry and Meghan's versions of events. The source added, they wanted it toughened up a bit, in quotes. They were both of one mind that we needed something that said that the institution did not accept a lot of what had been said, end quote. So it was even Prince William's private secretary, Jean Christopher Grey, who came up with recollections may vary, according to him, and he said that Kate was right behind him, end quote. And this is according to what he wrote in his book. As I said yet again, he spoke to anonymous royal sources who reflected on how the palace statement was drafted. And Lowe wrote that while some people may have attributed the now famous recollections may vary line to King Charles's private secretary, Clive Alderton, more than one source has attributed it to Jean Christopher Grey, Prince William's private secretary, who had been in his role for less than 3 weeks at the time of the interview. At least 2 senior royal officials were against the inclusion of the line because of the feared reaction from the Sussexes, according to Lowe, but one person who was instrumental in its inclusion was Kate, an anonymous source told the author. So, this is what he said, quote, "It was Kate who clearly made the point. History will judge this statement, and unless this phrase or a phrase like it is included, everything that they have said will be taken as true," end quote. So this is according to that source. And the source added, quote, "She does not get as much credit as she should because she is so subtle about it. She's playing the long game. She has always got her eye on, this is my life and my historic path, and I'm going to be queen one day," end quote. So Kate's involvement has not been officially confirmed by Buckingham Palace, and Kensington Palace declined to comment when contacted by several newspapers, and representatives for Buckingham Palace and the Duke and Duchess of Sussex did not respond to especially like Insider for the request to comment. Let me know your thoughts on that. As per what I've been seeing online, a lot of people, especially those who had initially taken that statement as a mic drop moment from the Queen, because of course the statement is released on behalf of the Queen, right? What I've been seeing a lot of you saying is it seems interesting that what people then, in 2021 had basically said was the Queen's strong statement. Credit is now being taken and given to Kate. And a lot of people are congratulating her and saying she put her foot down. And here the whole time I'm just asking with a lot of you online, doesn't the palace act on this thing that they all have protocol and understand the order of importance in terms of ranking and, the precedents and all that? So, for example, at that time, Camilla's opinion could never have outweighed the Queen's. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's interesting that for that statement, of course, the Queen would have had the final approval. So we would have been made to assume at that time that it was the Queen who had the final approval over that statement, and then the resulting announcement would then have been made. Of course, it would go through drafts because there are senior officials in the household, but it's interesting that all of that credit is now being taken, even especially away from the Queen, and being put on Kate. And it has been quite fascinating to watch a type of narrative that is being crafted for her, which is so contrary to the packaging that so many people have known of her all the years. And I'm talking of Kate right now. She has been presented to the public, the way she's been packaged over the years. I think a lot of us can attest that she has been packaged as someone who is shy and private and has a reserved nature. And, they keep talking about how she has this thing called, quote, quiet power. And a lot of people, even those who are detractors, have had a lot to say about her personality. I'm just going to put this right here on the screen for you. And And I'm just trying to come at this with a very neutral perspective. So it's quite interesting now that there seems to be this whole turn where we're being made to believe that behind the scenes that's not her real personality. So what are they trying to say? That has it been a front for all these years? You know, it's interesting. And there was that story where apparently, according to some other sources, that she wanted, you know, Harry and Meghan to sit at the back. I think that was concerning them coming to the coronation. And even I heard and saw on some of the pages for those who support Prince William and Princess Catherine saying that they did not like that line being attributed to her because it made her sound, you know, kind of bigoted against Meghan, telling her to sit at the back. It was a kind of dog whistle. And I heard that amongst her own supporters. They did not believe that Kate could say that about Meghan. So it's interesting, as I've been seeing this whole crafting of a new persona for her in public, that behind the scenes, you know, she is, quote, a driving force in the palace, that she is rubber stamping statements that are going to be later attributed to the Queen herself at that time, Queen Elizabeth. And what is going on here? And for her, anyone who would be advising Kate right now, because she has packaged herself, as I said before, as that demure person who stays out of controversy. And I'm going to quote this right here so you can know just how much this has been her packaging for quite a long time. They said this, quote, this is according to news.com.au, and they talked about all the time back when the Oprah interview had come out with Harry and Meghan. And this was a quote from them about Kate's response, or lack thereof, to it, saying, quote, another factor in Kate's silence is her own personality. They went on to say, quote, much has been written about her shy, private, and reserved nature, with Vogue dedicating a September 2020 article to her trademark quiet power, end quote, and willingness to softly toe the line, end quote. This is what they said. A royal historian, Sally Bedell-Smith, told the publication, quote, Kate understands what she is expected to do. She grasps that hers is a lifetime commitment. She has a natural ability to blend accessibility and dignity with a royal mystique that shields her privacy, a tough line to navigate, end quote. And she also went on to explain why we rarely hear what she says, end quote. And they also went on to cite that Kate herself had told guests in 2012 that she found giving speeches, quote, nerve-wracking. So they say that Kate's silence has been seen as a strategic PR exercise, that, you know, she was at the time one of the most popular royals because she steered clear of controversy, and, you know, she's able to appeal to the masses, in quotes. So basically, you see where I'm coming from. They don't say that behind the scenes she can't talk to people. In fact, they say, you know, one-on-one, she's quite good. But all in all, that has been her packaging. And according to them, quote, she is not expected to weigh in on family dramas. And so far, it has been a game plan that has served her well. So all of a sudden, from this PR narrative to something that is shifting all of a sudden, where according to sources, she is the one, you know, the driving force of the royal family, end quote, behind the scenes, rubber stamping statements that will be put out on behalf of the Queen. And I heard some of you joking about it and saying, then if that wasn't really the Queen who was right there, you know, driving that whole statement, then who was driving the statement saying that the Queen would have just loved Camilla to have that title, Queen Consort? Some food for thought? Question mark, question mark. So I heard people just joking about the fact that then what other statements were being fully attributed to the Queen at that time that perhaps could have been anyone else's statement there in the palace, you know, being drafted with senior royal aides, right? So it's all very strange, and anyone advising Kate right now would be well advised to speak out and safeguard that type of image that she has been presenting to the world for all this time, because I don't think she would want to be crafted as someone who is one way to the public and behind the scenes is someone totally different, right? Because there have been a string of articles that have been coming out that have been having a lot of people asking, what? Now, what is going on? You know, talking about, you know, to how she is behind the scenes, whether it's with Harry and Meghan or even William. We've been seeing a lot of interesting stories coming out. So I want to know your thoughts on that. That was quite interesting, and I wanted to cover it here, and I wanted to be as neutral as possible on this. I wanted to talk from a place that wasn't hateful, just a place that is acknowledging that something is changing. It's better if someone has that personality for them to be behind the scenes saying that people should sit at the back and in public they're another way. And I think it's something that people should really take note of and get one narrative of who someone is, because it is quite strange, isn't it? Because that flip, that 180 flip, is quite interesting with what we are seeing. So share thoughts on that in the comment section below. And once again, I will talk about that line that says, recollections may vary. I want to call back your attention to what Harry and Meghan said in the interview concerning Archie's skin color and whatever debate was had. There was that interesting story that came out, a letter that was published, a letter that came out in the press somehow. It was a correspondence between King Charles and Meghan, where he addresses whoever had allegedly talked about Archie's skin. So in part, I'm guessing that would be a type of confirmation that someone did in fact bring up Archie's skin color, and Meghan also responded to that leaked letter. And she talked about how she's just going on with her life. That was a whole report. I will just summarize here, but if you want to know it in full, there will be a link that will come up here. And also, I will put it at the end screen. So quick summary here. The letter had leaked and referenced the family member who wondered about Archie's skin color. And that story was initially published in The Telegraph. So Meghan responded about the letter because, of course, some people were saying that the source of that letter was the Sussexes, and Meghan shut that down. She talked about how she was going on about her life, not thinking about correspondence from 2 years ago. So you can imagine Meghan also acknowledging that there was a letter. Apparently, someone did wonder about Archie's skin color, and it wasn't that innocent, type of asking of, ooh, how will the mixed race baby look? It was questions and concerns, according to how Meghan and Harry framed it in their Oprah interview. Recollections may vary is coming into doubt yet again. And once again, remember that Meghan said that there was that whole conversation that perhaps Archie would not get his title. That was his birthright. That was his automatic birthright, in fact. And we can all attest that when the other royal children's titles were updated, immediately that there was that whole wait where Archie and Lilibet, their titles were not immediately granted to them. So it took a while. We don't know what was discussed behind the scenes, but something that should have been automatic for Archie and Lilibet at that time took a whole load of time. And in the end, we now know that they are Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. But why was it ever in doubt, right? That was, as I said, it's right there. It's laws. It's patented letters that state quite definitively that it was their right to be named Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. So this whole recollections may vary statement being now pushed forward to Kate. And we can see that, in fact, yes, there were some things that may have been spoken about Archie's skin color and their titles were not immediate as they should have been. Does she really want to own that statement as we're seeing right now? And some of that time debunked as well. And one would think that if you were Catherine's PR, who had spent all these years crafting that image of her as a nice girl, shy, understated, and all of a sudden it's just being flipped on its head. And basically calling her out as a quote mean girl, and no one wants to be a mean girl. No one wants that. We are team nice girl here, aren't we? I think anyone would want to support or root for the girl who is actually a nice girl. And I think nice girls finish first. And just comparing that, say, to like Princess Diana and the image that was crafted of her. Everyone knows that Diana, she had a cheeky nature about her. She had a quick wit. And above all, she was quite human, right? She had a lot of human moments. She made a lot of mistakes. And her being shy, that wasn't in the beginning. It wasn't some type of, put on for us. She was thrust in that position as a young girl. And, all of a sudden on the world stage, she was just bumbling and stumbling her way through it all, having those very human moments. For example, where Prince Charles was having some type of speech in front of her. He was giving a speech, and there she was in the background making all those types of expressions that had the audience in giggles, right? So she had to like learn on the job. So there was no time to have two faces to her. She had her petty moments that showed up in public and in private. And, you know, you could tell there's a whole consistent thread there as a princess that had a lot of human moments. But this is something on another level where PR have spent years crafting this image, and it's just being flipped on its head. If I was Team Kate, I would be just getting on that and getting the messaging back on track that she is in fact a nice girl in front and of course behind the scenes as well, because you don't want people saying in the end, yeah, perhaps, you know, I think someone like that did in fact make Meghan cry, and on and on. So share thoughts on that in the comment section. I want to know your thoughts. Jump in the comment section and share yours below. And as I said before, let's keep it uplifting the comments. Let's not go low, let's go high, and let's rise above. So thank you all for watching. And as always, before we log off, a special thank you to those who support this channel financially. To all of my Patreon, PayPal, and membership supporters, I would like to give a very heartfelt thank you. And I'd like to shout out a couple of you here by name. A special thank you to you, Kathy Aye. Thank you for your loving support for my work throughout the years. It truly means so much. God bless you. I appreciate you. And thank you to Maggie Jackson. You have been so consistent and giving and kind. I absolutely love you. Thank you so much. And now a special thank you to those who gave during the last live. Thank you to channel moderator Bonnie, who goes by the handle B10Pow. I'm really appreciative of what you do for this channel and for me, and I want to say that I love you. Thank you so much for who you are. And now a special thank you to those who gave through Super Thanks. I want to give a couple of shout outs here. Thank you to Rochelle Cherry, who is also a supporter for this channel. Thank you for your giving. You are so kind and such a blessing. Thank you. Thank you as well to Mrs. Monty 1. Thank you for that support for my channel. I do appreciate you. You are so generous. And thank you as well to at user HJ6BW4MS6Z. Wow, what a mouthful. Thank you for that giving. I appreciate you. Thank you for what you do for my work here. And thank you to at HJSED5474. Thank you and God bless you for that giving through Super Thanks. I do appreciate you all. Once again, thank you to all who give to this channel. You mean so much to me. God bless you. And thank you to all who like, comment, and share. And if you liked this one, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. And also, if you want to watch more videos, click the links in the cards and at the end screens, and I will see you there. I love you all. Have a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Have a blessed one.